Okay.
Hi.
I want to start with, were you expecting to get into the game even if there was an injury with Dylan?
Yeah, I think as a player on the bench, you should always be ready to come in and play your role, contribute to the team, and yeah, try to help. Because I mean, from if you're coming in the second half, you have time to analyze the game from the bench and get a perspective of where spaces are, where maybe they're threatening us. So yeah, you should always be ready to come in and affect the game.
Obviously, you go to center mid because that's where Dylan was. Was that where you've been practicing? Where under with a Henrik system? Where have you kind of been working on before the game?
Yeah, just the two number six positions. That's where yeah I've been training under Henrik and yeah, kind of as always.
What was the message from your coach following the loss?
Yeah, that it was a disappointing way to lose. But it's kind of good to get that out of our system early on in the season. Because yeah, to concede a goal like that in the 89th minute, when it comes down to, let's say, like September, October, when we're really fighting for, let's say, a top four position, it hurts more later in the year. So kind of getting that out of our hair now and to really use it as a way to learn and to continue moving forward because it's a long season.
You said fighting for a top four position. Is the mentality around this team that you guys are still one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference despite the coaching change and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we still have the same core group of guys that have been here for several years now, and at the end of the day, we know the quality that we have and the culture that we have as well. And yeah, we're Columbus Crew. Like in our mind, top four is what we want to be every year.
Amar, I felt like after about a minute and a half, you had found the game very, very efficiently, and you settled in very nicely. Was that your sense that it didn't take long for you to get into that match?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no warm up didn't help, but
Right.
it was still because everything happens kind of so fast. It catches you by surprise sometimes when you have to go in the first half. But yeah, for me, it was just understanding the relationship of Taha and like what outlet I could be to him, and also an outlet to the center backs and distributing the ball forward to our two tens, Hugo and Diego. So yeah, once I kind of found the spaces in between Portland's press and their midfield, and yeah, my role became very easy to kind of distribute forward and also break up plays defensively.
You bring up the relationship with Taha. My recollection, and I could be wrong, is that you and Taha in that dual six role has not really been a common thing that we've seen over
Mhm.
time. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it's probably the first time me and him played together, honestly, since I've been here in the dual six position. So, but yeah, it's I think that's one great thing about this team is that we have guys that are able to bring um kind of bring together the good things out of each other and adjust for one another. Whether, you're right-footed or left-footed, you like the ball, a little bit faster, a little bit slower to play a one touch to give a good angle. So, yeah, that's one thing about this team is we try to help each other out in all situations.
Help us understand when the two of you are in there. Is it a pivot? Is it one drops, one goes forward? How does that work with the two of you?
Yeah, it honestly depends a lot of where the ball is, but I think in the new it also depends on opponent. With Portland, they were keeping guys higher on our back line, so the center backs wanted one of us to kind of stay central, no matter if we had the ball or not, just
Mm.
so that way to prevent a counterattack or whatever the case was. So it really varies by opponent. It varies on time of game, varies on the score, if we have to be more aggressive or kind of more passive. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's just about moving together. Across the field, and then always as a midfielder, we have to keep the balance of the team. So,
Threading balls forward is something that you've done early, especially in your career, as you played a little higher up the field. But having a target like Wessam Abu Ali, who is splitting the two deep center backs and looking for that ball in the gap to run onto, that's a little different this year, isn't it? And you saw it firsthand
Yeah.
when you started to connect a few times up top.
Yeah, no, Wes is a major threat, and his ability with even his back to goal, to hold up the ball and give time to players to come and kind of give it another passing lane. So it's he's a major contribution to the team. He's got the pure striker mindset of just going forward, staying within the frame of the goal. So he always has an angle to shoot or lay off to somebody. So it's a much different personality that we have in that number 9 position than we did before, and, yeah, it's great to have him on your team.
Amar, you came in there in the 7th minute. What were you seeing before going into halftime? What were you seeing that Portland was trying to stifle you guys?
Yeah, I think, like I said, that they were kind of n defending with maybe 8 guys, leaving 2 or 3 high. So it was a lot if we lost the ball on top of the box, they would quickly try to transition out through their 2 wingers or finding Mora, who was playing like a false 9, 10 position. So yeah, for me, it was how can I position myself to in the rest defense so the ball doesn't get into that central area so easily, and then we're running back to goal. They were still able to do it. They have very technical and fast wingers. But I think in the second half, we were able to kind of contain it more, where we had more bodies around the edge of the box to recollect that second ball and continue our possession.
When you look back at the game, uh, did it look like Portland respected, Diego and Wes more than they did everybody else?
Um, yeah, I mean, I would hope so. Those are two big names and two talented players that can always score goals at any moment that you give them a half space. So, yeah, I would definitely say that they wanted to kind of close as many passing lane as they could and keep them on the outside of our box rather than letting them get in. So, for sure, I think when West had the ball many times, it would be two guys jumping out to press him and make him play backwards instead of forward. So there was times where they were able to do it well, and there was other times where West was able to get out. So yeah, those are two guys who definitely have a lot of respect from defenses in the league.
And can you just talk about if there was any struggles going from Nazi's system over to Hendrix? It seems like it's night and day, with the style and the way that you guys play.
Yeah, I think anytime you switch managers, there's always a kind of period of transition. So how Wilfred Nancy played and how Coach Henrik wants to play now is not the same exactly. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of a fluid process, and we're still early in the process, and we hope that day by day out on the training field and game by game, we continue to improve and continue to adjust what we need to adjust and learn from one another, learn from the staff, and yeah, get good results.
And you guys played KC this weekend. What have you guys watched anything on them a little bit? With them getting pretty much depleting their roster and
hmm
turnover.
we haven't yet, but we have video in a couple minutes now, so I'm sure we'll start kind of diving deep, analyzing and seeing, where we can exploit them and what strengths of our game can we kind of enhance more and come out with a good win on the road. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Thank you guys.